to have a series called What I've Learned, and I had that on my blog forever. And I think I'm going to consolidate my What I've Learned, my depression, and everything series into one big kajumble series that I'm going to start calling Free Therapy. Sometimes you can get stuck in the woulda, coulda, shouldas of your past. So you may have wanted, like for instance me, I wanted to be a model. I thought I was going to be a model. I just knew I was going to be like gracing the cover of Vogue when I was younger. And I did everything I could in the Virgin Islands to be a model in that realm, but it was a small place. And when I was 14, I went to New York. I had 14 agencies try to contact me. 14. That's 1, 2, this, and then a 4. 14. And my mother told me no. Basically. So yeah, it's a long story after that, but that was a big heartbreak for me. And so for many years, you guys, I couldn't even talk about modeling. Like I wouldn't even, my husband would bring it up, and when we were dating, people would bring it up. I would not even talk about it because it was so painful and it was so horrible to me that I kind of missed out on that opportunity, because you guys know that modeling is age sensitive, and so the older you get, you know, and I understand that I could do it now. I totally get that. But the kind of like high fashion, you know, Vogue runway in Paris type things, you know, at the time they were looking for younger, super skinny type people, and that's what I was back then. So anyway, the thought came to me most recently about thinking of your life like a sentence or a paragraph or a story that's being written. And if you continually keep putting commas and semicolons and colons and dashes and stuff on your past, not even mourning, but just never dealing with, or always, I could have done this if, and getting stuck on that previous sentence, you will never have an opportunity to move on to the next sentence in that story. Never. And you will get stuck for 5 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, or even 10 years, okay? Getting stuck on trying to bring to completion the sentence that was your past. And this is all I'm making this video to say, because I know somebody needs to hear this. It is time to put a period on that sentence. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen that way. And it could happen if you would put a period on that sentence. Forget that version of it and put a capital letter, okay, and start a new sentence. So maybe I'm not going to be a stick-thin 14 or 15-year-old model walking down a French runway. Not maybe, I'm not, because I'm 35 and that was 20 years ago. Okay, but who knows? I could still be a model. But if I get stuck in thinking about oh, you know, my mother wouldn't let me and the thing, and I go into this pit, then I'll never ever put a punctuation point, a stop point on mourning and holding on to the past, and then move on to the next chapter, the next sentence, not even the next chapter, not even the next page, the next sentence, okay? Because some people get stuck on the sentence. You can't even move on to the next sentence, okay? Put a period on that thing. It can still happen. It can still happen. It may not happen that way, but if you keep looking in this direction and trying to get that to happen, then you're right, that will never happen. And 5 months becomes 5 years, becomes 15 years. But if you start now, put a capital letter after the period, and you create what you want to happen with every single day. You take that day and you wrestle it into submission, then you can have a better future. And that's all I wanted to say on this video.